All right, go ahead, play it.
I'm gonna real talk you right now, ladies. The reason they slut shame us is because once a woman is fully empowered in her sexuality, no shame's gonna touch her. She's fully confident. She's a healthy grown-ass woman. She's very selective with who she shares her sexual energy with. She knows,
put
her
Andrew
body.
above
She knows what
us.
she likes. She
Nick.
never disrespects her body. I never disrespect my body. What? I do all of what I do because that's where my pussy wanted to go. We have adventures. You know what I mean? So once you figure out, though, ladies, that you can monetize pussy in whatever way you want, whenever you need some money, men lose all their power over you because they got nothing. Sex will always sell. There's a reason, ladies. Now you don't have
Holy
to
fuck,
be
the wind.
people per se. You could
What are you
do
in the
some
wind
lap
tunnel? What the
dances,
fuck?
Have dates with guys, whatever you gotta do. I'm just in a real.
Wait, so you said monetizing the pussy.
But then
I just want to make sure I know. How old did you say you
have
were?
to be sex. That could be essentially you're monetizing your feminine essence.
But you really believe that's...
Yeah, but hang on real quick. I just want to make sure. How old did you say you were?
38.
38? Whew, you really put on the makeup, man. That looked like a different person.
Hey, be
Literally,
nice.
that looked like a different human being than the one who's sitting in front of me. Right? I'm not gonna lie. It looked like a different person.
It was the lighting was. It was the lighting.
I was out at the pool with my
That was
kids
not
with a
the
hat.
lighting.
Andrew's
And it was a
lighting.
filter. There was a filter
was a
on there. I
filter.
wasn't wearing makeup. I was just out at the pool, and I just quickly made
windy.
this video. It was windy. The sound
The-
wasn't great. The point
the light was not hitting her
that
correctly.
when a woman gets to the point where no shame can touch her sexuality, she is free. Ladies, that could
fake
just
freedom.
mean that you become a model if you want or whatever, but you're, in a sense, you're owning your body, you're owning your sexiness, and you're okay with monetizing that if you want. You don't have to. I'm not saying that.
No, I know.
I'm simply saying it's a very empowered place to be, to know. I mean, I got, bikini people wear these bikinis and we'll send you money and just take the pictures. There's a lot of perks to just being
But you're
a
talking
sexy
about men
soul.
specifically. You're talking about men, monetizing off of men specifically.
No, she said monetizing.
Anybody.
pussy,
I have
think, right?
women actually, you would be surprised. I have a lot of female clientele.
I think it's fake freedom though, because you're feeling your desires and it feels good right now, and I don't know what happened in your past where it's like you feel like you're not getting your comeback, but it's false. It's not true freedom. You're a slave to sex. You're a slave to having to sell your body to get something in
Honey,
return.
I don't have to sell my body. I sell
But
my
that's what
body
you're
because it's
talking
fucking
about.
fun.
You're literally your whole
I'm
motto.
simply saying I am
Can you say that
liberated
one
to do
more
it.
time? Can you say that one more time, just the way you said it?
Okay, I can't even remember.
You said you
It's
sell
fun.
your body.
because it's fucking fun.
Isn't
it's
that
very
prostitution?
fucking fun. I told you I'm a prostitute.
Oh,
it's
okay.
already
No,
out
you
of
were
the
not.
bag.
You were saying you weren't a prostitute.
Because I was trying to help
No,
you guys
because you
have a
just
more
have no
liberated
reality. You just
perspective,
keep
but it
going left
wasn't
and
going
right.
anywhere. So fine, I'm a prostitute. We can call it that. I don't give a shit. Yes, I'm a prostitute. I stand at the corner and I suck whatever dick pays the right price. Woohoo! You guys found out.
Keep
Awesome.
going. Tell us more.
Stop.
Tell us more.
So do you? Oh, okay.
No.
Do you want to talk about blowjob
te-
tricks?
tell-
What do you want
tell
to do?
Tell us more. I want to hear more of the scope
Okay.
of the.
Okay, do you want
the
I got a
prostitution.
great idea. I will tell you the one example of when it really was a true prostitution situation. Do you want to hear it? Okay. So, I love this story. Okay, it was so fun. So, I decided I'm just going to try this. What is the big deal with the prostitution? Can I do it? Can I actually go fuck a guy and just get the money right there? Okay, so I met a man on whatever these sites where you meet the business guys, whatever it was,
Backpage.
Seeking Arrangements or something like that.
Yeah.
Seeking Arrangements, I think. And of course, I vetted him. I made sure, I like the look, I like the vibe, he's respectable, blah, blah. We arranged it beforehand. We pre-established a price. He's gonna take me to this nice dinner. I love steak, very expensive dinner. If things go well, I'm happy to go to his house. If I go to his house, the price is going to be what the price is. I stepped it to him.
Well, how much was the price for the dinner?
It was just the dinner.
Oh, you just covered the dinner.
Yeah, it was just like a normal date.
So how much was the price for the carnal knowledge after the dinner?
Carnal knowledge.
I mean, a girl's got to have her secrets.
No, I'm just
There's
curious.
no secrets here.
We're talking about squirting and
This is a safe space. You're with the girls. You're with the gals. You're with
All
the
right,
gals.
girls, so this is what it was. It was my rent. It was my rent, $2,700.
Woo!
Damn,
$700.
that's
But
expensive.
isn't that desperate?
That's a lot of money for some
It wasn't
pussy.
desperate because I
Just saying.
didn't have to go home with
Can
him.
I
I
ask
could have
a
just had a
quick
nice
follow-up?
meal and went my way. But I vibed with the man.
Wait, do you
I
think
liked
that's
the
empowering? Like,
conversation.
really?
And I had never, let me just real talk you. My parents are very young. They had me like as teenagers. So my parents are only like 57. This man was 56. I kind of had a little kink. I had never been with an older man like that close to my dad's age. We vibed. The conversation went well. I felt safe with him. I felt respected. We don't have to.
Nick, why?
Well, I
Nice.
do just have a very quick follow-up.
Point being, he put
wanted to
the
ask
money
you,
in
do
my
you-
purse when I went to leave, and I was like, "What's this money for?" And he was laughing. I forgot that that's what I was even doing because I had had such a good time.
Aw. That's such a wholesome prostitution.
That's so sweet.
Julia Roberts. You were Julia Roberts in Pretty.
Yes,
So-
I was. It was
Wow.
fun. I was
Can I
living
ask
my
you-
best life. It was a
deceived
bucket
you.
list thing. It was a bucket list thing.
Yeah,
And
I get it.
was
I
like,
get it.
what is
But
the
let me
big
ask you
deal?
a very quick follow-up. Hang on. So, do you consider yourself to be a truth teller?
Yes.
Is that is a thing which you consider yourself to be?
Yes.
So, I just have to ask you this. In truth, would you recommend that most women follow your lifestyle?
I would not say most. No.
What about your daughter?
Good to know.
My daughter would be fine living my lifestyle
That's
because
fucking
I've trained
crazy.
her from the beginning of how to do it.
Holy
Wait, what?
crap.
Why would you know?
Why would you
better
want
than
to teach
what?
your daughter to
Tonight?
sell her pussy? That's
gotta
fucking
call
disgusting.
CPA on
I'm
you.
not saying she has to sell her pussy. I'm simply saying I am raising my daughters to feel empowered to make their money
That's not
whatever way feels
empowering.
good.
That's not
degrading
empowering
Aren't
at
they 6
all.
to
That's your
9?
opinion.
It's not
That's your
empowering. It's
opinion.
fact. You know it's
that
not
kind of
empowering.
Guess
It's
what?
not.
Guess how bullied my daughters get because they're the it girls.
Because the mom is the prostitute?
No, the kids have no idea what
Well,
I
eventually
do.
they
They
will,
will.
though.
They
But
will.
guess
They
what?
will.
I have empowered my daughters to come home. And because they are also little bad bitches, they're not holding on to their trauma. They're not getting eating disorders when the girls are talking about their
know
big
in the
asses.
future?
I was getting eating disorders. I was getting raped. I was getting all these things.
Don't say that.
Well, okay.
Don't say that.
I was
You gotta
not being
say
treated
that.
well because I was raised by the good mom who we don't do this and we don't do that and that's
You don't
not
think
even
it's just because you made bad decisions? You
Yeah,
did
I
that
no,
know.
to
it's
yourself?
because I was
Mom.
literally. We can't go into it. It's
I'm not
too-
talking about that part.
You
I
can
mean,
read
like,
my books.
I'm not
My
talking
full
about that part. I'm
story is
talking about,
in
like, in
there.
general, you've
Read
made
the
bad
book.
decisions, and now you're telling your daughters to continue those bad decisions.
yeah,
No,
keep the
What's wrong
curse
with
going.
you?
No, I'm telling my daughters,
what is wrong with
you
you?
are so fucking valuable. You put it to him. That boy wants to talk to you.
Open your
Have him
legs,
bring you a
daughter.
necklace.
But
And I'm
open your
not-
legs
What?
first.
I am
You
not
told them
teaching
that their
them.
body is a
Are you for me?
temple.
I'm not going to defend myself.
Most things are
Wait,
taught,
can I
not
finish the
taught. They're gonna
follow-up?
look
Just
at
a
you
very quick. Hang
because
on.
you're
Just
getting
a very quick
triggered because you know
follow-up.
it's true.
Wait, ask-
I
the
am
reason I asked
raising
the question-
empowered
hang on.
women
Stop,
to
stop,
do
stop,
whatever they
stop,
want.
stop.
They're not going to
Just let
be
me finish the
shamed
follow-up.
for doing whatever they want to
You
do.
can't help yourself. You need to calm down for a second. Just let me finish the follow-up. The reason I asked the question, here's the follow-up. If you could prescribe to most women to be virtuous, or for most women to act in a way that you act, where everything is transactional, which would you prescribe in truth?
That's a complicated question. I would say, to be honest, if I had advice for blanket to every
Now,
woman,
let me give you the question again, so that you understand it. If you could prescribe that most women be virtuous, or most women follow a lifestyle like
Or-
you follow,
so virtuous
just not-
or
no,
Let them ask the
stop,
question.
stop,
Let them
stop.
ask the question.
virtuous, meaning follows chastity, temperance, all of the different, what you might consider cardinal virtues. We'll just make it easy, or philosophical virtues. Or they could follow your lifestyle of purely transactional based interactions with men, which could lead to sex that pay their bills. Which would you recommend for most women?
I would recommend my lifestyle for most women until we get to a different place in society where it would be safe for women to fall
So
back
they're
into the more traditional way of being.
They're just going to be dodging STDs for the rest of their life.
I mean, this is a very
Unplanned
simplistic
pregnancies.
way.
You're just going to have abortions every 2 days.
No,
like,
they'll never be able to form an actual connection
no,
with anyone.
they're going to be too broken to even form an actual connection with a really good man.
throwing a hot dog down home.
What?
That's not true. I mean, you're right. You guys, pussy is actually a muscle, so that's actually false. A vagina is a muscle. I hate to break it to you. It needs to have exercise, or it gets very loose and not very fun.
Yeah, I feel like you.
No,
that
that's
comment
not
is so
even
real.
true
You're
of
grooming
female.
your daughters
No,
to be.
listen, that's not even
It was
true
just a
of
joke.
female physiology. That a vagina
baby
needs to
comes
be
out of
worked
that.
out by a bunch of penises.
$200.
That's
I
ridiculous.
fought for this country. This is what I get to see. I'm glad Andrew and Brian
Trying our
tried.
best. Trying our
But holy
best.
hell, our baptism
In
is
the
D-Day.
trenches.
You are made over and of standard.
Anyway, why do you think that a vagina needs to be worked out with penises? Why do you think that that's
It
part
doesn't
of
have to be a
female's
penis.
physiology? That's ridiculous.
It doesn't have to be a penis. She can do
All
her
right.
Kegel exercises with
No,
weight.
but
She can
the thing
have
is
her own orgasms that she can cause. There's many ways
She
to
doesn't
exercise a
have to
vagina.
she can work out the entire bottom half of her body without ever doing masturbation
She
or
can,
anything.
but guess
Okay,
what?
so
Sex
hang on,
is
stop,
really
stop, stop.
fun.
She can do all of these things.
Dude, that's
Why do you think it requires any sort of masturbation, penetration? That's completely made up. The vagina is not going to go bad because you're not masturbating it.
It
That's
actually is a
fucking
muscle.
insane.
It will atrophy. You're actually
Go do
wrong.
some
It will-
squats.
it will-
No, I'm
it-
not actually
It's a
wrong.
lot more
It does not
complicated.
atrophy
than
because
that.
that would
you're saying
be-
that female nuns, their vaginas atrophy.
Yeah, their vaginas inside, they
Ow.
get very numb. They get very numb.
Andrew, that's our
and they
band.
start to atrophy.
Andrew, that's gonna be our band name.
A desert
Atrophy Pussy.
cobwebs.
That's our band name.
All I have to say is you guys obviously don't like sex that
nun's
much. if
vagina
this
is
is
going to
such
be
a
numb?
discussion.
Really?
The numb.
Yeah,
and
but there's a
atrophy
lot of
pussy.
numb
What
vaginas.
kind of music are we doing, Andrew? Hard rock? We're gonna be you play guitar. I'll
like
do
sources.
vocals.
I want sources.
Oh, you remained a virgin your whole life. Your vagina doesn't work anymore.
Kim
It's the
Anami.
most insane
Kim
thing.
Anami
That
is
is
the-
the
is the
craziest
one
take
to
I've
follow.
ever heard in my life. And I've heard a lot of them.
Says the man who has a penis instead of a vagina, but he's telling you how
Andrew,
vagina.
I'm sorry.
wait. Andrew,
Most-
confirm or
most-
deny?
most-
Do you have a penis? Andrew,
Yeah,
confirm.
most,
Do you have
yeah,
a
I
penis?
can
Do you have a
confirm.
vagina
But
too we
most
don't know about?
Most doctors who work on women's vaginas are male. And you know that their success rate is much higher than that
And they
of
get
females.
and they make their money by telling us that we need them to fix something about our vagina because we can't just go figure it out ourselves.
Hashtag big
They
labia
do
matter.
have to fix things about your vagina.
They
get
wouldn't have
STDs
to
like a
if every
cat.
woman was sexually liberated
Right?
and understood her
She
own
was
body.
Sexually liberated.
Oh man.
Like, don't male doctors who are gynecologists fix your vagina? I'm sorry, am I wrong?
I don't go to gynecologists. I don't subscribe to Western
You don't
medicine.
go to gynecologists?
I actually delivered my own babies. I learned how to be a midwife, and I
had
actually
a
my
friend-
last baby I delivered her myself in my bathroom alone by myself, and I also did my own prenatal care. So I am not the typical woman. That's
Oh
why
my
it gets
God,
annoying
who
to
the
get
hell
judged as if I'm just like a common.
Facts. I had a friend
Wait,
who
hold
had
on,
roast
hold on,
beef,
okay,
and
hold
she
on.
got it cut off in
What the-
surgery.
All right, so hold on. So
So you don't take antibiotics?
what was I gonna?
I did get an infected. I got bit by a black widow 3 times in the same spot, and my arm was starting to not do well with that. So I did take antibiotics for that. But I'm very conservative
Well,
with
I care.
antibiotics.
And the reason I care is because who invented those antibiotics?
A
man or a
man.
woman?
Do you use an iPhone? Do you drive a car?
What
Do
does
you
that have
have
to
a
do with
home? Like
anything?
literally all built by men.
A woman
I'm
created the
not speaking
GPS
against
Who
men.
Who
I wasn't
cured
saying
that
anything
evil
about men.
Black
I was talking
Widow
about
fight?
the
vaginas.
entire GPS system.
Okay.
Wait,
there you go.
I have a question for you. What I don't know if you'd be down for this. Do you think we could get your previous, like your husbands, on the show? Do you think they'd be down to come on?
Ooh.
That'd be interesting.
Well,
that
okay,
would be a
the
really
last-
cool
Wait, with
show.
you, like so they can't
Yeah.
like so it's a conversation.
Okay, so the last one that beat me, obviously, that's
Okay.
not a safe situation.
Well,
The
we
one
have
before
security.
that,
we can
I
handle
don't.
shit.
Honestly,
If he
he's still
put a
very.
hand on
He's
you,
still very.
Go, Brian.
fuck him up.
Yeah, talk to
Would you? Okay,
Well,
so
no, like no,
I
like,
love that.
if he were to attack you in the studio.
Outside,
he's
you on
such
your
a
own.
coward. He would never even. He's not
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
come
not.
face to
Okay,
face
so
with me
listen,
till we're in court.
this
I'm
is
sure.
not my request. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't care about any of that.
The first
What I-
husband is too conservative. He wouldn't feel comfortable with these types of
Oh,
topics.
the conservatives love the whatever pie.
No,
He'd
I'm just
love to
saying
come
he's
on.
not comfortable fully with his own sexuality. So
Huh?
these
then he's
these
not conservative.
What's that
conversations
have
would
to
make
do?
him very
Okay,
uncomfortable, and he
keep
wouldn't
it.
want to really
We'll keep it.
engage.
We'll keep
He's
it.
very
It just would be
like
very
Christian.
interesting, but-
We'll keep it clean. We'll keep it clean. If you're watching, let us
Ian,
know.
hi Ian.
His
You know
name's
what?
Ann?
Ian,
Oh,
I-A-N.
okay.
I have to say, I do
Yeah.
really appreciate my first husband that I had the kids with.
Mm.
I can understand, and I have told him this many times. It was at least 51% my fault that our relationship didn't work well because I was the educated
really?
one.
You're kidding. I never would have guessed.
Look at that's growth. That's growth. That's growth.
I have, you guys, I know I come across as cocky, but that is genuinely because I have evaluated each, like, I will apologize to you guys. If after I'm like, I was so rude, I'll apologize.
I'd like an apology.
Sometimes it takes a minute. I am sorry.
He
I will
wants
suck
an
your
apology.
dick. I'll suck his
Wait,
dick.
but why,
Can
so
you
why
make
is
it-
it your
hang on,
fault?
hang
Why
on, hang
why
on.
is it your
Listen.
fault? Or why was it your fault?
Hang on. I gotta
Because I did the thing
just a
where
second.
instead of
Stop
loving
it
the
here
man,
for 1 second. Listen, Brian is very partial. If you want the best apology, to bows. If you could do a bow for Brian,
See,
I'll bow.
I don't
then
even
we'll
want to
know
bow.
that you are actually sorry.
like
I,
this.
what?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Whoa, not that kind of bow.
I'm just messing
no,
with
no,
you.
no,
I'm
no.
just-
That's a
I will
different
bow
type
like
of bow.
this. I don't care. But no, you guys, what was so toxic about that? Oh, do you still want me to talk? Because I had an agenda with the man. I wasn't in love with
You
the
still
man.
do that to this day, though. You have an agenda with men.
I do, but when it comes to the men who I genuinely value and respect as human beings, I have no agenda other than to get to know them. That's all. I didn't have that level of maturity when I was a young, I was in my young 20s. I had to grow into not in a relationship that you're going to call a marriage, your person, that should never be a transactional thing.
So how many of those men are still in your life that you value
men?
and don't
Oh,
treat?
I have lots of friends and stuff in my life, men that I love.
I'm not talking
them
about
to
friends.
death.
I'm talking about like romantic relationships.
What do you mean?
I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to
What do you mean?
too.
What do I mean? Romantic
I-
relationships.
Well, I thought you said you didn't really have
I'll tell you this. My one friend with husband benefits right now. I have one friend who has husband benefits, and he has husband benefits because
hold
he's
on.
a great man.
What's husband benefits? Like your pussy?
What does that mean?
So weren't you?
Yeah,
with
like
him?
I
Isn't that anybody?
I
Carnal.
sleep
the
with him.
meal.
She-
and
No, I
having
actually
carnal
don't sleep
knowledge.
around,
It's
contrary to
carnal knowledge.
popular
There's carnal
belief.
knowledge.
So you're with him?
What's your body count?
So you're with the guy?
I have no idea. I don't
Madison's
count.
just going for it.
I have no idea.
Do you range?
See the
Do you want to
point.
do range? Range?
I honestly couldn't tell you. It could be okay. I could give you a range.
Yeah, range is
It could
good.
be anywhere from 50. It could be 100. I'm not really
Could
sure.
be 1,000.
No,
you
it
know?
wouldn't be 1,000. I just
Never
haven't
know.
even. You
No,
guys,
but
I
hang on.
lived
Could it
in
be
the whole
1,500?
conservative life until only 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's
So
not
it's
so
in
bad.
5
Oh no, that's a
bad,
lot of
right?
days
That's
to
not
be
bad at all.
getting dick.
For a woman, I could be sleeping. And
could get
here's
a
the
lot
thing:
of
I'm not
dick in
gonna
those
go
5
fuck
years.
anybody I want.
Do
Basically.
the
You
math.
don't think
That's
that every
like
time you sleep with
1,500
someone,
days.
you kind of lose a part of yourself?
No, not at all. That's such a misconception. I gain knowledge of myself.
But you're not able to actually. What is it? Like you're not able to actually bond.
Pair bond.
Pair bond with someone because
Pair
you're
bond
just
is
you're
not-
numb
You're
to
not
it.
with
Duh.
No, that's not true because I don't sleep with people
Pair
on that
bond.
level.
What is Andrew
What do you-
copying
what
me?
about-
I don't have
Wait, wait.
casual
What
sex.
the fuck
What
is
about the
Andrew
guy?
doing?
What about the
He's
guy that you
mocking
said that
me.
is so great? Why aren't you with him?
Hold
Because you say
on.
he's
What
a
do you
great.
mean?
Show
You
us
don't
your
have
tummy,
sex.
Because
Andrew.
he's
do.
54,
Show me your
his
tummy.
kids are
Shave your
grown.
arms.
My kids are little. Just realistically, there's not a
Yeah.
compatibility
That's what's
enough
up.
there. Of course, the man would probably.
Show us your tummy, Andrew.
The man would want to marry me.
Men
I'll say
don't
it that way.
have
So
to.
he wants to. He would want me in that way, but I have the wisdom to know you're not going to want to raise little
Titties.
kids again. Right now, he's thinking with other parts. I have to be the wisdom to say, we'll have a great time together.
Tits.
I'll help you. Essentially, he's very stunted sexually. Okay, he's very stunted sexually
Hey,
because he had a
let's keep
20
me
year.
Yeah, I
out of
literally
this.
cannot keep up. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So stuck on 50 to 100
Ah,
bodies.
he's stunted sexually, but he's a great man.
Actually, very similar.
Okay, you don't need
I
a.
think it's true.
Oh, that's funny.
You know what? I really, I
Hold
gotta
on, Maddie.
I
Read
like you
these
guys.
two chats.